Hi, hi guys. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to today's session. I'd like to confirm that you guys can hear me. Hi, for everybody watching on YouTube. Good evening. Welcome to today's session. We'll be starting off shortly, so we'll just be waiting. Hi, Kelvin. Please confirm you're here. Arome, please confirm you're here. Selim, please confirm you're here. Thank you very much, Kelvin. Confirmed. Um, Selim, please confirm you're here, please. So, guys, welcome everybody. Michael, Selim, please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening, Michael. Please confirm that Selim is there.
Yes, he's here.
Michael, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, awesome. Sorry, Michael, what did you say? Got cut off.
I'm just trying to confirm if you can hear me.
Okay. Sorry, let me
No,
check
I
it.
can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Arame, good evening. Welcome everybody to today's session. I'd like to welcome everybody to the ETT Structure MCT onboarding stroke orientation for day 2. Um, welcome. We'll be starting off shortly. Kelvin, would you like to share your screen while we wait for more representatives from each side to join the call? We'll be starting in the next 2 minutes. So, Kelvin, can you share your screen before we start? Are you using any slides? Are you not using any slides? Wonderful. That is amazing. So before we start, I'd like to first welcome Selim, a representative from the Enugu SME Center, which is the body representing the Enugu State government and hosting the ETT program, the Enugu Tech Talent Program, which is an adaptation of the 3MTT, the 3 Million Technical Talents Program. And I would like to welcome each and every one of you to the Enugu Tech Talent Program orientation stroke onboarding to 3MTT Day 2. So, Selam, please, would you like to say a word or two just before we start? So, just before we start, I'd like to say a word or two for the center, for the Enugu State government, just before we start.
Okay, thank you very much, Marichko. Kindly confirm you can hear me.
Yeah, very much. We can hear you.
Oh, thank you very much. So first, I want to say a very big thank you to 3MTT and for this partnership. And I would just want to mention that the Enugu Tech Talent Program is brought to every one of us that is listening today, especially our trainees, the future trainees that will be joining the program. This program has been brought to you by the Enugu State Government through the Enugu SME Center / Office of Digital Economy that's been held by Honorable Renze Chigofia, who is the Special Advisor to His Excellency on Digital Economy and MSME. And also to reiterate that this program is in partnership with 3MTT, a great collaboration. And the whole idea behind this is to help our people in the Enugu to get a head start when it comes to digital inclusion, when it comes to taking advantage of digital technologies and this and the innovations that abound. Today, there's practically nothing you want to do. There's practically no road you want to cover, right? That would not require you to have at least a bit of a tech skill, and that's one thing we want to achieve. That's one thing that's one core mandate His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Enugu State, Dr. Barrister Peter Ndubisi wants to achieve, ensuring that everybody has a tech skill, ensuring that Enugu State stand this thing at the top of it all when it comes to digital inclusion and innovation. So I want to welcome every one of you to this session today. Those of you joining us from on our YouTube channel, remember to subscribe and also tick the notification button so you keep getting updates whenever we're having sessions like this. And also to say a very big thank you to Arome and the team from 3MTT. It's been a great work, a lot of back and forth to ensure that we get to this place. So on behalf of the Enugu State government and on behalf of my boss and the Barinze Chilofia, I say welcome to everybody and wishing every one of you the best. Thank you.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining today's session. I'll be waiting for Kelvin to come back just so we can begin today's session. But tell me from the chat, guys, which states are you, which local government in Enugu State are you from? Are you in Enugu East? Are you in Osaka? Where are you listening from? And what course are you hoping to learn during the Enugu State Tech Talent Program? Just let us know in the chat below. I'd like to give hand over the floor to Kelvin. He's the 3MTT community manager for Benue State, and he'll be walking us through the 3MTT Knowledge Showcase. So the 3MTT Knowledge Showcase program is a very special program hosted by the team that allows you to win things like laptops, tablets, and data. But I will let Arome walk us each through what this means and how this can be achieved. Arome, please, can you hear me? Your mic is unmuted, but I can't hear you.
Arome? All right, I think that should be Kelvin.
Kelvin, sorry, Kelvin. So Kelvin is the 3MTT community manager for Benue State, and he'll be walking us through the 3MTT Knowledge Showcase and everything you need to know about it and make an awesome win. So Kelvin, thank you very much. I hand over the floor to you. You're welcome.
All right, thank you so much, Anosiki. So can we just quickly confirm if you can see my screen and you can hear me loudly? My network is acting up. So my sincere apologies. So yeah, knowledge showcase. So I want us to look at it from this perspective, right? We have 1,001 courses out there, free courses on Coursera, on Udemy, and some are physical, right? And there is this mindset of people constantly embarking on courses, taking one course to the other, from one course to the other, right? So with 3MTT, we got to understand something, that it is not just enough that we train people, right? And then just pass them through, walk them through some tutorial sessions, right? For them to absolutely master what they've been able to learn over time, right? They need to be able to build something. Now, this is just me giving you a brief history of Knowledge Showcase, because whatever you build, right, ends up lasting in your brain. It stays there without they wake you up from sleep, right? You can easily and just point to it that, okay, look, this is what I've done. In the last 2 months, I was learning data science, software engineering, and this is what I've been able to come up with all that knowledge, right? So the entire concept of Knowledge Showcase was actually bettered around this, that look, let's create a system where we will encourage people to apply every piece of their learning into just coming up with something that will put them out there, right? And then we created a Knowledge Showcase and then added a form of incentive around it. Okay. Now, 3MTT, we got to understand something, that it is not just enough that we train people, right? And then just pass them through, walk them through some tutorial sessions, right? For them to absolutely master what they've been able to learn over time, right? They need to be able to build something. Now, I will quickly apologize for the slides I'm using. I actually got this particular memo right not too early enough, and they said, no, Kelvin, you have to be the only person that will explain this thing to these people. But trust me, even without the slides, I'll break down this whole thing to a level everybody will understand. So generally, that has been the background, around knowledge showcase. So we kind of like started over time to, okay, look, let's through some thematic areas. People within the 3MTT ecosystem started with cohort one. Let them use the knowledge they've been able to gather. It could be UI UX, it could be data science, animation, software engineering, DevOps. Just come up with an idea. It started as just a basic idea. Come up with an idea, right, in your own specific field, and then be able to build something. We pushed the first iteration for a while, I think for 2, 3 months, right? And we saw a good number of wonderful ideas that Nigerians across the country were actually building and submitting as their knowledge showcase. And then we said, okay, look, we have challenges in Nigeria. Is it just okay that people come up with random stuffs, or do they actually build? Should we encourage them to build things that will try to solve maybe one or two problems around them? Could be their environment, it could be just something that can be generally observed from the Nigerian perspective, right? So we decided to push it a notch further, and we're like, okay, look, guys, yes, it's okay, you're building stuff. Can you tie these things to actual solutions to problems that you can relate to within your ecosystem, your community? It could be your village, it could just be anywhere within your vicinity, within the country. If you think it's a problem that can solve, sorry, a solution that can solve a problem outside the country, fair enough, right? We wanted to push that, as well as what, bring about the idea of what, entrepreneurship into the mindsets of these people. Who knows? They can be the next Andela, they can be the next Flutterwave, they can be the next Facebook is too cliche, right? Everybody gets to use that example, but it could be just the next money point or something. It always begins with a pain point and then an idea, and then you produce something and then see how you can push it out at scale, right? We now moved to that piece of knowledge showcase. Okay. Now we have constantly been evolving over the few months to a year plus, right? Now we have actually moved further, okay, to another stage, what we call the knowledge showcase 2.0. So like I said, it is that national innovation engine that is tied towards what, the 3MTT program. It's a critical piece of the 3MTT program. But this time around, we don't want to look at it from an idea of a perspective of people just competing for probably devices or recognitions, or just even data. We're trying to move away from that. We are now looking at knowledge showcase as that systematic pipeline, that's that engine, right, where we can actually transform top technical talents in the country into measurable what, economic force. That sounds so big. Let me break it down, right? So imagine my good friend Arome, or my good friend Anosike, has a company in probably Enugu or Kogi, for instance, and then this company is probably using IT tech to kind of like automate one or two processes, or just make one or two internal adjustments to their organization, and then they need something to be built, right, that will meet that particular need, that pain point, right? And Anosike's company can now reach out to knowledge showcase people, that's the 3MTT body now, and be like, okay, look, we have this problem. We want, we are hoping to get solutions from this, right? Do you think your fellows, that's the 3MTT fellows now, can come up with something around this particular problem we are having within our organization? Now, that is the driving force behind the entire concept of what, the current stage of knowledge showcase, what we call knowledge showcase 2.0. So we are looking at it beyond just people competing, right? Because we saw that people were no longer passionate in what they were doing. They just would pick any random thing, just build it, whether they believe in it or not. Yes, put all the aesthetics there, all the UI and UX, make it so colorful and beautiful, and then just push it out there. You understand? And then showcase to the 3MTT team. And yes, if it is good enough, they win. We are trying to move beyond that, right? We're trying to see this systematic approach where people what can be transformed, their technical talents can be transformed in a measurable economic manner. You understand? Where they are able to solve real world business challenges, right? It could be challenges within their community, it could be challenges a national scales, at the national scale, excuse me, right? So this phase of knowledge showcase, right? We are looking at a system that offers a direct, right, highly efficient pathway to both talent acquisition and innovation, right, embedded into one piece. If I am too fast, please, any of us can just call me back, right? I'll try to make this particular session as interactive as possible. Before I even proceed, I don't think how many minutes do I have? If you give me 3 hours, I'll talk for 3 hours.
That would be very fantastic.
It's all
You
right.
have you have 35 minutes left.
Okay, that's amazing. So I'll definitely leave room for questions.
So
So yeah,
question and answer.
that
Okay, we
yeah,
have 35 minutes is without the Q&A. So we'll just use the
okay.
remaining time for Q&A. Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. That's amazing. So now that's the whole thinking around the knowledge showcase 2.0, right? That is why you see PS 2.0 here. So yes, you guys are coming at a time when knowledge showcase is much more interesting, much more encouraging, much more rewarding, because you get to build something you can relate to, people can relate to, that solves a real world problem. You understand? And then you push it out there and people use it. You get real life feedback and you get to iterate or improve on it. You understand? Giving you that visibility, and then you also building a portfolio, and most importantly, building your confidence as you learn through the process. Yes, I know somebody might be there thinking that, okay, what if I'm just starting off in this? It is totally fine, right? As human beings, we are made to what? Fail forward. We've been wired to be able to fail forward. As children, we started with making a lot of errors and then gradually taking that leap of work. You understand, as we proceeded. So this is not we saying we want a fully fledged product, right? But we want something that can always be improved upon, right? Like an MVP or even a full-blown one. However it is, we want to see that yes, it addresses this problem or at least attempts to solve the problem, right? So now when you are done doing this thing, the typical flow for knowledge showcases, look, before now was like, okay, look, every month we get to put knowledge showcase out there. You understand? We design a flyer. What you saw was for August, right? Sorry, I barely had time to change that particular one. What you saw was for August, right? The first flyer I shared, the first slide I shared, that was for August. So we push that out there. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You understand? We push this out there and then tell people to what? Build and submit. And initially, it used to be like 50 laptops that were given out, right? And then my files. But we later now downsize the laptops to like, okay, look, let's do 20 laptops and then give a lot of tablets so that a lot of people can actually what from this thing. So throughout this year, what we've been doing was basically to give out what 20 tablets and then 50 e-tabs with a lot of data in between that, right? Now that has been the flow. We push that out there on all our social media handles and then within our community, and then fellows begin to build, come up with very creative, wonderful, innovative stuffs. They build, and then what they are able to what submit using a form and then also uploading on LinkedIn or any of our social media platforms. The reason why we always emphasize on people uploading there is what? For visibility and documentation. You can be building one of the best products in this world, but if you are not able to put it out there, right, nobody will know what you are doing. So we intentionally use that approach so that we can project our fellows out there, showcase what they are building out there, and then just give them visibility. Also help them document to a very large extent for people that probably might not even want to start up their own personal businesses or enterprises, or just build their own personal products, right? Some people are very comfortable working with organizations, which is totally fine. But imagine you were trying to get recruited for a particular role, and then you just easily point somebody to one or two things you worked on and you actually showcased on your LinkedIn platform, right? Your LinkedIn page. Imagine how the HR person will feel. Also, imagine how you feel, the confidence you will have that, look, I am not just starting off in this thing, I've been building consecutively over the years. You understand? So that has been the thinking around the whole knowledge showcase. So when you build these things, you upload on your social media handle. It could be Twitter, could be LinkedIn, could be Facebook, or yeah, we introduced Instagram as well, right? But how do you now submit this? You don't just build, record anything, and then you no. We expect that you build and then you explain to us, right? The same way I'm doing this now, just that the only difference is in that video, we will want to see your face. You've built something and you walk us through a very short presentation of what you've been able to build for like 3 minutes. You do that, understand? And then we look out for some very key things: the quality of presentation, talking about the video quality, the image quality, and how coherent your communication is. I know that over the last months to a year plus, right, we've come to observe that not everybody has that ability to communicate very clearly and freely, right? We are not saying you have to be the best or speak like an on-air personnel, right, or professional. We are not saying we want that. All we are saying is, look, let's be able to understand what you are building. You understand? And then another thing we look out for in that video is what? Your ability to clearly outline what you learned from the program so far, right? The piece of the program you've learned and you are able to apply. If you're in data science, what have you gathered so far? If you're in software dev, front end, back end, what have you gathered so far? If you're a designer, you understand. Let's see some UI UX design about something, right? If you are what do you call it, a product person, understand, you can show us a real case prototype or a PRD or just something related to your field to tell us that, okay, this person will be training for a while, this is how much they've been able to what? Learn, and this is what they are able to build with the knowledge they've been able to gather over time. You understand? We want to see that recording with a quality recording, yeah, video presentation, and then you clearly outlining some of these things in your build, right? And then we also want to see that visual what evidence of what you've been able to build. Now, a good number of times, right, we've gotten very wonderful submissions. People come up with very brilliant ideas, and then sometimes they just present a slide, like a PowerPoint slide, the same way I'm presenting now. All of those kind of submissions are not the things we look out for, in all sincerity. The truth is, we want to see that you have been able to do this thing. We want us to walk us through that entire process. You understand? And then you get you get to spotlight what you are building, and then we get to see it and relate to it. If you are building a software for something, we want to see it. If you are using data analysis to do something, we want to see the step-by-step process of how you are able to do that. All falls what? Within a 3 minutes span. You understand? Some of the things we also want to see in your typical knowledge showcase submission is what your role in developing the project you are showcasing. At 3MTT, we encourage collaboration because you will never just work alone on a product from A to finish. The chances are very slim, particularly within organizations, right? You'll be expected to work alongside cross-functional teams, right? We want to see your ability to collaborate with other people and then build something together. You understand? So while you are doing that, we want to also see that you are still the original person behind this thing. So we look out for things like your primary role in developing what you're showcasing. You understand? So how much of the code or technical work in the project you personally write or create. We may not ask you some of these things directly, but we look out for them. From the explanation you are giving, we could easily point out that, okay, look, this person was actually involved in this thing. How you walk us through, you understand, the person, how the person is able to walk us through the build. We know that the person is actually one of the major stakeholders or implementers in this particular build. You understand? We also want to see a significant problem or challenge you encountered, right, during the project and how you addressed it, right? But in fact, some of these things are kind of like hidden, they are silent. The major things we look out for, we want to see that you are able to solve a real life problem. You show us a problem you are solving, right? And then we can relate to it with all of these elements that I have actually mentioned, highlighted into that as well. So as some additional tips to you coming up with a very solid knowledge showcase build, right? We want to see, one of the first things is what the creativity around your video. I will give you an example. So I remember one of these, I always like using this particular example because it's one that I personally resonate with. So sometime back in September last year, between August, September last year, we were reviewing knowledge showcase for that particular month, and there was this particular unique submission that we received. Some guy in one of the northern states, that should be Bauchi, very brilliant young guy, very young guy. He started with explaining the challenge he was facing, he had faced while in school as an undergraduate, particularly in his first year. You understand? He talked about having the challenge of being able to compute his CGPA. Understand? The process was not clearly explained to him. It was a bit challenging. So he didn't know how the computation was done, right? First year, second year, it was at the point of his third year that he started understanding how CGPAs are calculated. You understand? Although that didn't affect him that much, but he saw that it wasn't just a problem that was peculiar to him alone. You get, it was something that was also affecting other people within his department, and he strongly believed it was the entire school. So while learning software development with TRMTT, the first idea that struck his mind was what? Him being able to come up with a simple CGPA calculator where you just get your grades, you impute your grades there, click submit, and then it calculates your CGPA for you. So by the time he was finishing school, that was what he was able to build. You and I can agree. I think a good number of us here can agree that that is some very wonderful creativity around there. You understand? Things we can personally relate to. So we want to see that creativity around your video, right? We want to see that you clearly introduce yourself. You state the problem your product will solve, right? It needs to be something we can relate to. Remember, I told you that entrepreneurship piece is what we are pushing, right? That ability to solve problems out there. It's one of the core mantras of our Knowledge Showcase 2.0. You understand? So we want to see, we want you to give that specific aspect of your, we also want to see that specific aspect of your learning that you've been able to apply into building your product and your showcase, right? And then also, we want to see that you are able to keep it simple, relatable, and then unique. Because one thing you should bear in mind is that you'll be going against head to head with some of the smartest guys, right, in the country. They'll also be building things. And for you to actually be spotlighted, you need to put some extra level of what hard work into what you are doing in a manner that does not confuses us. Okay, we want to see we want to see all of that in what you are building, right? The fifth thing is, yeah, the fourth is keeping it simple, relatable, and unique. I already talked about that. The fifth is you producing that quality video slash recording with clear audio background, right? If possible, you display yourself, your face. We strongly recommend that. The sixth is what? Do not forget number one. Everything is centered around number one. Even if you do not remember anything I have said from for the past few minutes, right? Past 15 to 20 minutes, just remember that look, you need to be creative and you need to what? Be innovative. Both of them go hand in hand. And then the third piece, you need to actually solve a real life problem that we can relate to. Now, about the awards, we are refining a good number of the awards. Just like I said, initially we used to give out 50 PCs to some of the 50 top submissions across the country. We scrutinize it. The process is very thorough. We go through it, make calls to all of these potential people. Sometimes we go through like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 submissions. A few months back, we had over 7,000 submissions. You understand? We went through every single one of them, right? Every single one of them, we went through it over and over again to the point where we get to even reach out to the top 200 that we've been able to select. We interact with them, we discuss with them. Okay, you did this for your knowledge showcase. Walk us through the process. Tell us how you built that. Tell us why you built that. What inspired that particular build? You understand? And what your plans for that particular build is. You understand what exactly you want to achieve with that. So the process is usually very thorough. We go through it thoroughly, you understand, and then select the top performance. Now, initially it used to be 50 winners of laptops, and then we do like 50, sorry, like 5 winners of MyFis or ETABs. But we saw that the quality of submission kept increasing, and just selecting 50 people, it wasn't fair. At the same time, yes, our resources are what? Limited. We decided to scale it up. You understand? Okay, let's do 20 laptops for some of the best, the very best. We go for give them 20 PCs. You get, and then make it 50 ETABs for the remaining people so that everybody can at least, because obviously we can't give two people one PC to share. Imagine Anosike and I now sharing one PC. I'll be fighting for the board, the keyboard, he'll be fighting for the screen that side. It won't be good at all, right? So we decided to say, okay, look, we have enough tablets. Let's do something around the tablets as well. You understand? And that brought about the change in awards that we've had this last few months. Yes, we also reward people with data. Now, not everybody can win, but for people that actually made attempts, right, and then we saw that they were genuine in their attempt, we also reward them with small data, right, to just encourage what they are doing. So for a few months back, it was like 10 gig to the first 200 people, you understand, that we select. Now, this excludes all of the people that have won devices. So for the device winners, we don't give them data at all. Excuse me. So yeah, that is currently the reward process. But yes, we are still looking at, in fact, we're having internal conversations. How do we make this thing more interesting, right? How do we make it more interesting? We're even looking at where we get to spotlight the fellows, talk about what they are doing, blow their trumpet, you understand? Just give them that national visibility. There are other incentives, but I think we've not gotten approval for some of these incentives. right? Else I would have shared. But let me just give you a very little, no, I won't say that because I know you guys will now start holding me accountable to my words. So I need to say things that I'm very confident in. And these are the ones that, yes, for now, we've been able to what, approve and we've implemented. Understand? So, what have I missed? The typical knowledge showcase flow, right? Up until now, it has been monthly, right, for every cohort. And priority is always given to the cohort at the time. Okay. We don't just go and pick people from a random cohort and then come to reward. But if we see that, okay, the current cohort, they are not really maximizing this thing, we can just move aside and pick somebody in probably another active learning platform, sorry, learning course, still within the 3 entity program, right? Just extract somebody from there that also participated. Could be deep tech, it could be another project that will come up. You understand? Another learning project that will come up. We select and then we still reward those persons. Okay. But yeah, our priority is always the people from the current cohorts. So we have some examples of I've actually had this examples in the past of some knowledge showcase winners, but I'll probably just leave that with Anosiki. I'll get a comprehensive drive, both some old ones right from last year and then some more recent ones, probably 5 to 10, and then share with him. He'll leave them within the community, the Enugu State community. So I've been talking for the past 25 years. Let me pause. I just hope everybody can still hear me. Anosiki, confirm if you can still hear me. Salem, confirm if you can hear me.
Yeah, yes, we can.
Awesome, awesome. I like that. Michael Damilola, are you with us?
Yes, yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, solid. So I think I've pretty much touched on a good number of the major points around the knowledge showcase piece. Like I said, we are still iterating as we proceed, fine-tuning things, getting it better. And our current focus is how we can tie this innovation to real life problems that organizations, both within and outside the country, are experiencing. You understand? So that when our fellows are able to build solutions for these things, their confidence level exponentially what increases, right? So I need us to have that in mind. So I'll quickly pause here and then just keep the floor open for a few questions and then maybe one or two areas that you need further clarity with. Who is going first? You can just
Uh,
indicate.
so, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. I can hear you.
Okay, so they can only ask questions using the chat box on YouTube, right? And
Oh,
yeah, they are not here on the this thing Google Meet. It's been transmitted to the Google Meet,
okay, totally understand.
so
Totally
you can
understand.
just
Yeah,
I
can
can
you
have
help me
my
just filter all those
yeah,
questions?
my colleague Michael will do that.
All right, Michael. All powers belong to you now, Michael. We're waiting for you. It's all right. So let's just exercise some patience, right? While Michael and the team try to pick a few comments and questions from the chat feature on YouTube.
So Michael is coming up now. Just trying to go through the messages on the YouTube.
Okay, no worries. No worries.
All right, Mr. Kevin, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, yes. First question is coming from Jude Ikechukwu, and is saying, is the knowledge showcase held every month? And the second question is, can non-3MTT member participate in the knowledge showcase?
All right, so the first piece of his question, the knowledge showcase is almost every month, but for people in an active cohort. Let's say your cohort begins now, right? We'll begin to prepare a special knowledge showcase for your cohort. So it will run for the entire duration of your learning. Does that make sense? If your learning is for 4 months, it will run for the 4 months. You start from whenever you join an active learning program within the TMTT program, and then it counts for the duration. You understand? Now, unfortunately, no, this package is for our TMTT fellows because we don't want a scenario where people go and then begin to hire mercenaries to just come and build things because they know that if this person that probably is a senior dev builds this thing, he or she can stand the chance of winning a laptop. We do not want that. The idea behind it is what? Our fellows, how they are able to grow, how they are able to improve, how we are constantly encouraging them to apply the knowledge they are gathering, right, into building real world relatable problems. The extra piece of incentivizing them is just a form of encouragement. So, to be more specific with our question, mba, nobody from outside. For you to be able to participate in knowledge showcase, you need to be a 3MTT fellow number one. You need to be in an active learning program. Does that answer the person's question, Michael? Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, thank you very much. I believe it does. And from the same Jude is asking further question. He said, can I involve team members who are not on 3MTT members? Then lastly, he's saying, would there be mentorship for selected projects? And can I submit one project across different months?
All
Did you
right.
get
So
that?
yeah, I do. Totally got the question. So the first question, no, you cannot pick collaborate with people from outside. You can seek their knowledge, right? But please, the entire thing has to revolve around people within the program. Okay. We want to see that you are able to collaborate with people, but nobody will stop you from going to seek external knowledge and say, okay, look, I'm working on this thing and I got stuck here. You understand? That is acceptable. But bringing them on board to actually build some of these things, mm-mm, we we don't encourage that. It has to be somebody within the TMTT body or platform, right, that will be able to collaborate with you, 100% collaborate with you. Kindly remind me on the final piece of that question. I think
Oh,
I kind of like.
okay. I think the last one is asking, can I submit one project across different months?
All right, so this is how it works. Typically, once you win a knowledge showcase, let me repeat that. Once you've won any knowledge showcase, you can never win again. Even if we make mistakes because we are humans and we announce you, probably you scale through all of the security checks we do, right? And we announce you, you will not be rewarded. So let me start with making that very clear. You understand? Just the idea is this device should get to as many people as possible. So we don't want people just um constantly just trying to open like a shop with our knowledge showcase piece. You understand? Where constantly every month they are submitting to win devices so that they'll start the computer. They say, no, we don't want that, right? So the other aspect of the question you've actually asked, and this one is more aligned to your question, you can submit the same product, the same build every month if you've not won. Let's say for this month, I choose to submit probably a project around space science, or me building a spaceship to Pluto or Neptune. You understand? And next month I come up with a project taking people from probably one piece of Nigeria to the other piece. And the third month, I come up with an entirely different project. That is entirely fine. If at all you decide that, okay, for the first month I worked on this space project, and I have been able to identify that, look, there are better ways of doing this thing. I can improve on what I've done in the past. And then you decide, to apply. A, sorry for the noise in the background, right? So, and then you decide to apply with that same this thing again, just improve on it. It's totally fine. If you choose to leave it like that, it is still fine. So yes, you can apply using the same build over and over again. But once you've won, you've won. You can't win again. It is not possible. If you choose to change a build, it is entirely okay. Yes, that is what we even encourage. Want to see that you are practicing. You get practicing, applying knowledge into what you are doing. So that is totally fine. I think that answers your question. So, Michael, you can go to the next question.
All right, thank you very much. And I have another question coming from Okorie. She said, is the class happening here going forward, or are we going to have hours? Let me reframe that. So I think he's asking that the training is happening on YouTube or is happening on their dashboard.
The process will be communicated. Yeah, I totally got that. The process will be communicated to you. The training will not be on YouTube, right? We have a management system, a training, an LMS, right? A learning management system where we deliver all of our trainings. But all of those informations will be communicated to you at the right time together with your onboarding process, right? All the procedures, how you take your classes, your live classes, your pre-recorded classes, every single bit of it. But it won't be on YouTube like this, to the best of my knowledge. Anosike, I think you may also want to touch on that. Arame, if you are here, you can also touch on that if you think there's anything to add. But yeah, it won't be on YouTube. There will be a platform, a dedicated platform where you have your login credits, and then you'll be able to access all of your learning content.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. And then I have another
Okay,
question.
so let me quickly touch on that
Yeah, go ahead,
before
please.
we move on. Okay, so good evening, everyone. This is MC from 3MT University State. So what I'm just going to say is that there are 3 modes in which you'll be learning. You'll be learning through a mixture of hybrid and paced learning. So paced learning means you'll be learning on a dedicated dashboard that gives you access to dedicated learning course content, right? Second phase of that is the virtual learning, where our virtual facilitators would actually take you on some critical topics on Google Meet on a weekly basis. And now the last touch point is where you'll be taking through this training on a physical basis across Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays across 13 different locations in the University. So now, what I'll say is, if you missed last week's version of the orientation, if you missed day 1, please log on to YouTube and search for the ETT onboarding day 1. View that video, view the last week Friday's video. You'll get full information on how this is going to be done and where our training centers are. And also visit the Enugu SME website to learn more about the location of these training centers and further information. Just watch that YouTube video from last week. Below this YouTube video, we'll be tagging last week's video, so you can, in the description below, link down the day, so you can actually access that. So Michael, I'm moving on to you. Thank you very much, Kevin, for that. Thank you very much, Michael.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think this has been answered as well, but I will just rephrase it. This is coming from James Sunday. He said, please, when are we going to start accessing course on our dashboard? Because each time I logged in, a dashboard. It says no course assigned yet. I think this is to Mirishuku.
Okay, awesome. So once the courses are assigned and how your training is going to go, would inform you via mail and the WhatsApp group chat. So one core thing you have to ensure is visit the mail the ETT stroke NGSM team sent to you, join the WhatsApp community, and always check your mails on a daily and weekly basis. So ensure you don't miss any information about your learning courses, your learning materials, and your virtual sessions with your physical classes. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for that. Then this is coming from Emmanuel 114. He said, can deep tech students go to 3MTT ALC in their local government?
No. So once you have taken the deep tech of Court 1 or Court 2 or Court 3 training, you're not allowed to take the ETT training. I will say this again. No. Once you take the deep tech Court 1, Court 2, or Court 3 normal ETT trainings, you're not allowed to take part in the ETT training. Thank you very much. Because at the end of the day, these are all tech training programs of international standard. So we would not like to have a repeating cycle and a repeating set of persons. Okay, so information just reading me is for deep tech only. You are allowed to take part in the ETT program, but if you've taken the TMTT Court 1, Court 2, and Court 3 programs, you are not allowed. Thank you very much for that correction, Arumi.
All right, thank you. Then I have another question from Chinasa. So she's asking, when is the main training going to start and how can I enroll in my preferred courses? I believe, Chinasa, I think what you are saying is, I believe if you are here, you've already enrolled, but I will leave the other part of the question for Anosike or Arome to answer. Do you get the question?
No, please, can you come again?
Okay, she's asking, when is the main training going to start and how can I enroll in my preferable course?
So first, you need to go to, we have two registrations we're going to go to do. Visit the University site /ETT. You should go there, make your registration, and also proceed to the TMTT dashboard, which will be linked to the description below. You make your registrations. Once you're done with these two registrations, you'll be onboarded to the ETT program. Once the physical training is starting, join the necessary WhatsApp physical community that's also at the end of that form, at the end of filling the ETT registration form. And then virtual classes start between today to the end of this month, October. Physical classes are expected to start in November, and these are the progress of things, November to 4 months down. If there are any changes, adjustments to schedules or whatnot, would let you know. But very importantly, if you're still asking this type of questions, go back and watch the ETT/TMTT or onboarding onboarding day 1 to have further and clearer information. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think we have a whole lot of questions that have been addressed during the first onboarding session we had on Friday. So I would just advise you guys to go back and check on this channel. Just check our video, the last one we had on Friday, and watch through. You will find answers to all of these questions. But meanwhile, I'm trying to pinpoint other questions as relate to what we've discussed today. Just give me a moment. So basically, I think majority of the questions they have been addressed during our previous onboarding session. But however, if there's any other thing we need to do non-Merishuku, we can go ahead while I go through this comment and I will indicate if there's more questions.
Okay, so I'd like to first start by saying thank you very much, Kelvin, for that amazing session. It was powerful, it was inspirational, and we look forward to seeing the ETT, so JMTT fellows in Enugu State take part, take charge, and actually make the necessary videos, make the necessary impact, and create solutions that impact Enugu State for the better. So since we have the presence of, and he has stepped out, Selim or Michael, is it possible you can assist me buzz back on the BC so you can say a word or two from the Enugu State Governor since while we're on this call? I know he's on the...
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll be waiting for the return of the Honorable so you can speak on behalf of the Enugu State Government and the Office of Digital Economy, and that is in collaboration with the Enugu SME Center, NIDA, and 3MTT, bringing this training to all of you. I'd like to say special thanks to the Enugu State Governor, Dr. Peter Ndubisembad, and also to Honorable, that is the SPA to the Governor on Digital Economy, that's Honorable Arinze Chidofia, for bringing this program to the Enugu State government, to the Enugu State people, residents, and indigenes, or everybody. As far as you're in Enugu State, this program is for you, is with you, and we look forward to seeing you all having an amazing time. Don't forget, we have our last onboarding day on Friday, where more of TMTT partners come to share more about TMTT programs, everything. So we ensure you're fully equipped to have all of this thing done and dusted. But while we wait, I'd like to call on Selim. Selim, please, so you can say a closing remark on behalf of the Enugu SME, organizers or the ETT, just before we close. Mr. Selim Monosa.
Yes, from Honorable Ndubisi is having a network challenge, but they just say we should just go ahead if he's unable to join back.
Okay, what about Selim? I have Selim speak back.
He's having another meeting now with Honorable.
SP. Okay. So on behalf of the University team, the entity central organizing team, the Federal Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, and from the federal government, I would like to say, and from the federal and Enugu State government, I would like to say thank you very much all for joining today's call. We'll see you all on Friday. You have an amazing and wonderful time. Thank you. So we'll be ending this call here, and we'll see you this week, Friday, by 5 p.m. Same time, same place. Thank you very much, everybody. You have a wonderful day ahead.